Hello, everyone, and welcome to Skipping the Queue. We are here talking about episode 16? 15. 15. Oh god, Red's gone and I have to host and everything's terrible. Oh no. Anyways, we're talking about episode 15 of Ultraman Blazar. I'm Rasen, and I'm joined by Mel.
Hello. I don't need an opening bit after that.
Yeah. Listen. Speaking of opening bits, the fucking cut-in art this episode, god damn, did you see it?
The cut-in arts this season has been on point every episode, basically.
They've been doing this thing a lot, though, where, like, they have a cutout of whatever big monster showing up, and then the silhouettes of people, or, like, the main focus of the episode, those characters inside of it a lot, and every time they do it, it's cool as hell. I love it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool.
Speaking of big, we got a big name returning this time around. Our boy Gava-done is finally back from, I believe it was... Okay, no, actually it was not the first Jisoji episode of Ultraman, because that was
good one.
The first good episode done by Jisoji and Ultraman. Who can forget the big crocodile that eats pearls that I don't even remember the name of? What a guy.
I remember when he exploded.
He does explode.
Which is very funny.
People attempt to make Gava-done explode this episode, but he is too bouncy and soft, like a good friend.
It's so good.
Yes.
It's just the bombs just bounce off. Just like, it's like...
They bounce off and then cause more destruction to the city around him than our boy ever could cause. And I'm like, damn. I know writers who use subtext in their own accounts.
I like how the opening of this episode, you have like the tent with all the drawings in it, and you can see in the corner like a poorly drawn Beethoven, just like the Beethoven and the...
Oh! I was looking to see if there was a Beethoven, and I was like, oh damn, that I would have done that. That's a funny joke. I must have missed it. God damn it.
Yeah, I think in the same frame there was also a drawing of Sibozu, which is nice too.
Mm-hmm. So I guess to provide a quick recap, Gento's son Jun is hanging out at school, and some of his friends are poking fun at this one kid that seems to not really hang out with everyone else because he's always too busy drawing, and the kids are like, that kid's drawings suck. This boy's name is Arata. Jun is fairly nice to him, though, being the protagonist child. But
could you imagine if they like wrote a show where like Gento's kid was a dick? That'd be so funny.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. But no, he has the hero's genes in him, so he has to be extremely nice. So, yep.
I don't think he's wearing denim.
No. Tragically.
Tragic.
So Arata is talking with Jun, and Jun says, hey, come back to my little secret base. I'll show you all of my drawings of all the cool kaiju I draw. And Jun's like, okay. So they go to a construction site, calling back to the big construction site with all the pipes that all the kids were playing at in the original Gava-done episode, Terrifying Cosmic Rays from the original Ultraman.
It might not surprise you to know there's a lot of callbacks in this episode.
Yeah. And he shows them a bunch of drawings, and then he has Jun try out his artistic capabilities and says, hey, I want you to draw a kaiju. And Jun's like, okay. So he starts drawing, and Arata declares this one's going to be called Gava-done. I believe at this point they get chased out by the construction worker man, who is like, please, children, this is no place for people to be playing. This is a construction site. It's dangerous.
You know, personally, if I was Jun, I'd be like, what the fuck, bro? I'm drawing it. I get to name it.
Yeah.
What do you get to name?
Listen, as a child, that would have also pissed me off. I would have been like, what do you mean? Did you fucking draw your own Gava-done, nerd? There's also a point where they're looking at one of the drawings that Arata had done before, and he's like, yeah, this has missiles, and you can shoot lasers out of here. And I all thought that this was going to be a Chekhov's drawing for Gava-done Phase 2, and then we don't actually end up getting that. And I was like,
we get the base form. Well, the one thing that's different about this time is that like Gava-done starts small and gets bigger, which I think is a fun change.
Yeah. It's solid. So, I believe this is when we cut to Gento back in full-on domestic mode, hanging out with his family. And he's like, hey, I'm going to cheer you on for the big, is it a sports festival? Or sports week or something like that? I can't remember what exactly they call it.
See, the problem is, because we're recording a day early, I didn't rewatch the episode to take notes, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's some big sports event thing that the kids are involved with. I'm pretty sure it's like a school festival thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, Dad, that was last week. And his wife's like, yeah, I sent you the picture and everything. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Haha. I'm sorry. But fortunately, he has... I believe his wife says they have... he has more than one day off for the first time in a while, which he never gets. And I want to stop just calling her his wife. Satoko, that's her name. Okay, I had to look that up. And Gento says, all right, we can do anything. Let's just hang out. We can go anywhere, do anything.
We can even look at a weird egg.
Yes. Not this time, unfortunately. I did note mentally, I like how every single time he tries to have a relaxing moment, there's a running bit now of the news just being like, yeah, some fucked up thing is happening. And I'm like, oh, that must be so stressful.
He's like, please, I don't want to think about work.
Yeah, just don't turn on the news when hanging out with your family, man. Stay uninformed. Enjoy your time off.
Fun fact, the baseball guy who like is on the newsreel, apparently he originally played one of the kids in the original Gava-done episode.
Okay, because I figured this has to be someone. I didn't know who. I didn't recognize who it could be, but I was like, this has to be some guy that like got pulled in here for a cameo. So that's fun. But yeah, June just tells his dad, like, you work so hard that I actually would hope that you just kind of rest. And they have, like, a sweet little family moment thing where he's like, no, I want to hang out with my son and my wife and be a normal family. We then cut to a series of hijinks back and forth where the terrifying cosmic rays from space... just like in the original episode, are back in the night sky for some reason, and is covering the Earth, and ends up making Gava-done real. And as the news reports, there are cryptid sightings going around, essentially, of people going like, yeah, I saw this weird little white kaiju thing running around the woods. Eventually, the kids find it, and being kids, they go, well, we can just keep drawing him bigger and bigger each time, and, you know... he'll be more like a real kaiju. Around this point, there is a moment where some adults almost get a hold of Gava-done, but then he pops back to being a drawing real quick. And the kids say, well, we can't take care of Gava-done forever, partially because Arata and his sister, who also has been mixed up in all this Samugi, are going to be moving to America soon, separating their friendship forever.
Condolences.
Yeah. It's tragic.
I'm Canadian.
No, trust me. This is a crime.
You missed one of the most important scenes, though.
Which one?
Gento has to take a Zoom call about the cosmic rays, and then he forgets to turn off the camera and stands up without pants.
He's such a dad. He stands up and he's not wearing his uniform. He's in like pajamas or whatever, and the rest of the rest of the force are like, "Oh God, turn that shit off." And he went, "Oh, sorry." Honestly, perpetually terrified that I'm on webcam when I shouldn't be at work, but it's never happened. But that is always a fear. One fear. But yeah, the kids decide to draw a massive Gava-done in a field. It comes to life, and just kind of lays around in the city, and not Scar. Why do I always forget their name? Is it GGF? GGF. Yeah. I always want to call them TD. For whatever reason, I always want to call it TDF.
It's just that we happen to line up Blazar alongside Ultraman.
Yes, yeah, right. So, what ends up happening here is the GGF are dropping bombs all over this thing, but because Gava-done is just rubbery and bouncy, the missiles bounce back and start blowing up the rest of the city. So actually the kids rush over to try to yell at the military from the ground to try to stop attempting to blow up their friend. And Gento freaks out seeing his son near the vicinity of all these missiles exploding. So he rushes out, goes Blazar mode, and decides to take Gava-done elsewhere. He's having some trouble because he's a big boy. Yeah,
he just, like, can't make any mark on Gava-done. Everything just bounces off.
Mm-hmm. But what he does do is he pulls out the spear, and I was like, is he gonna fucking harpoon Gava-done? What's happening?
Oh, yeah,
but then
Crane gains it.
Yeah, he shoves the spear into the ground, which causes a portal to open up above Gava-done, and now this is suddenly an arcade claw machine. Like, he's a big plushie, which honestly mood. And he tries to basically grab Gava-done and push him somewhere else. But as he's lifting him, he gets him. He successfully lifts Gava-done and starts to move the crane arm, but eventually even that's too heavy and it breaks away. The struggle apparently lasts throughout the day because we get the certified Jisoji reference sunset.
Yeah, like the very blatant sun globe that he likes.
Yeah. And the kids cry as Ultraman starts to get kind of rough with Gava-done, just so desperate to get him away from the city. And then the kids rush over and say their final goodbyes to Gava-done, saying, yeah, we can't be friends anymore, Gava-done, because he got too big. And in my back of my head, I'm like, I wonder who made him this big. Really makes you think, huh, kids?
I think to be fair, I think they are reflecting on that.
Yeah.
But then, like, the ending to the original Gava-done episode happens as, like, Blazar scoops Gava-done up and sends him to space to become a constellation, etc.
Yeah, and then we cut to later that night where Gento and Satoko both find Jun hanging around looking up at the Gava-done constellation. Actually, right before that, he has a conversation with his two friends, Arata and his sister Samugi, where he says, even if you do end up moving to America and we're separated, we'll always be able to look up at Gava-done, and that'll be like a tie that binds us and reminds us of our friendship.
I love it when the A plot parallels the themes of the B plot.
Yeah. And then the kids go away, except for Jun. Jun's parents come by, and they're happy he's okay. And they're like, let's go hang out and be a family. And then
Gento being his very, like, in like the way you like expect a parent who's just like extremely worried about the kids, like, oh, I'll get ice cream, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna go to the Ferris wheel, we're gonna
go camping, gonna have a barbecue. Yeah. It's really good. And as they're walking away, Jun gets a little sad. And then he looks back at the Gava-done constellation. We see it drop a little meteor tear. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, we sure did talk about the entire episode.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I don't think it's a candle. I don't think it holds a candle to the original Gava-done episode.
Yeah, I'm like torn because I think I like the first half a lot, and like I think it's like, oh, it's differentiating and like building on it in the original episode in some ways by like really showing like the thing going on with the kids. Because in the original episode, it's kind of just like some kids are just like, we're drawing Gava-done because we like him and he's cool, and then we're just gonna make him really cool.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, there's like an entire plot going on, and like the fact that it relates to Gento's kid is good.
Yes, I was very happy when I realized that like the one who brings Gava-done to being was June. I was like, this show is Galaxy Brain again.
Yeah, but I do think like I'm a bit more like, yeah, it was okay. Well, not okay, but like good. Just like sort of like, yeah, it was good. In the second half, where it's just like, oh, they did the ending to the episode again, like it's just 1-to-1, and I'm just like, well, you could have, considering how like divergent the first half was, I was kind of hoping like, even if sort of like a callback, like they were doing something different rather than the same thing again.
Yeah, and that's where it's different to me from the Ultra Q throwback episode we got with Garamon, where that felt wholly original, using a lot of, like, it was definitely a love letter to that one episode of Ultra Q where the invasion attempt happens.
Yeah.
But it was so, it had all of the stuff going on with,
yeah, like, it's an original
Henri
episode,
and...
like, it's an original episode that's just, like, has a lot of tribute hooks to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas,
and this
like,
felt more like we're doing the same thing, but in Blazar this time.
Especially in the latter half, it felt more like a remake than a tribute episode.
Yeah, and I would have preferred they, like you said, basically, I would have preferred that they maybe just mix things up a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Gava-done explode, admittedly, so, you know, I'll take this over the Blazar actually killing Gava-done, but, you know. Just one of those things. There's a bit in the episode where, like, Sadako mentions to Gento that, like, oh, he's acting like a normal kid. I thought that was interesting. Just, like, Jin being the kind of person who, like, I guess I find this a bit relatable, just, like, downplaying your own opinion because you're just, like, don't want to be, like, intrusive on your parents. Which I guess actually makes sense because he's, like, he is bummed out that his dad is never around, but he also, like, I don't want to impose on my dad because, you know, he's got, like, this stuff going on kind of thing.
Yeah, like, it's so fascinating to me because even though Gento clearly lies to his family about what he does, his kid still knows that there's a gravity and a weight to the, like, severity of the line of work he's in. And he's very concerned about making sure his dad is doing okay, has rest, and he knows that his job's important.
Even while also still been like, please remember the things that are happening in my life.
Yeah, and, like, I referenced earlier, like, oh, he's like a good kid because he's like he has the protagonist child thing of being, like, you know, completely good at heart sort of thing or whatever. But it is worth noting, like, yes, like, his mother does get into it with his father, like, our son does not act like a kid, like, he's doodling on his little homework and tests and stuff in school, which, like, makes me happy because that's a normal thing that normal kids do. And I'm like, damn, that is kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That's not normal childhood behavior. Kids doodle on shit all the time and do that sort of thing. I do think it's pretty funny how there's the bit where I think it's when they're seeing the news reports and Jun's like, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, and Satoko's like, what? Oh, okay. Yeah. She's just, like, completely bewildered. It's good.
I relate to that. GBH.
Did you and your friends summon a kaiju?
I wish. My life would be more interesting if that happened.
Yeah. And I appreciate how scribblo they make Gava-done this episode.
Yeah, like,
he's a little friend.
I think they saw they're, like, trying to pitch, like, oh, hey, do you guys want to make, like, a limited run Gava-done plushie immediately? And I was like, on one hand, that feels a bit exploitative. On the other hand, they should make it.
Yes. I love how rubbery he is, too. He's just jiggling and bouncing off of everything. It's a good time.
Yeah. I do kind of like that they didn't, like, instead of, like, doing the thing where he, like, has different forms, they just, like, made him bigger.
Yeah.
Because I think the the base Gava-done form is kind of like more iconic and like
It's
unique
cuter.
compared to like the one where it's just like, oh, this is just like another dinosaur guy.
Yeah.
In a show that had a bunch of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked that they didn't go Form 2 mode, but I'm happy that they just kept it with the friend. Because
I'm going to Form 2 mode.
Yes. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say. I think overall this was solid, but I was hoping for maybe a little more originality, like what we got in the Garamon callback, and honestly, even the Alien Kanan one too, or whatever. I feel like even though it played it pretty close as well, they did. You know what? Honestly, what I think it is that I think, tragically, because June is a child and he only has so much characterization up to this point, they can't do the thing that the Alien Kanan or the Garamon episodes did, where they had a member of Scarred to bounce off of and really highlight the personality of. And I guess they kind of do with Gento here, but we've already kind of done the, like, oh, he, you know, the work-life balance is hard for him sort of thing in previous episodes, so maybe it just didn't stand out as much, but it felt like they were able to be a little bit less original with it because they just didn't have, like, a character thing that they could really key in on except for the kids, but when you're doing that, it doesn't feel that much different from the kids from the other show.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't feel weird because, like, Gento's thing is like, oh, he is the dad Ultraman protagonist, as, like, this is the thing that makes Blazar different from other Ultraman shows, but, like, this is only the second episode his wife and kid show up in, and, like,
yeah,
I think they're well characterized, but also does feel like it'd be better if we had more.
Yeah, and I feel like his kid is starting to get as of this episode, starting to get there, but like
his wife is not there enough.
Yeah,
which is like a shame.
She is just good patient wife from any sort of story that is, you know, the man's never home because he's busy fighting evil or protecting humanity sort of thing or whatever. Satoko just doesn't really have much to do, which is a shame.
Yeah, and like it's nice that like they give her like insights about Jun to give to Gento because he's not there. But also it's like just needs a bit more. She needs to be around more.
I hope she gets an episode, and I hope that episode isn't just, oh no, she gets into trouble and Gento has to save her.
Yeah, that'd be bad. She does need her own focus episode, I think.
Yeah. We got, is it 10, 11 more?
I think it's 10. I think it's usually 25.
Okay.
That's usually the thing. And a movie question mark? They usually a movie, but we haven't had any.
I feel like movie. If they've been doing movies, we'll probably get a movie for this, because by all accounts, this is doing pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty successful.
Every time I watch the episodes, I look at the view counts, and I'm like, God damn, we're doing it.
And $1 trillion.
Yeah. What if they drop the ball next season and it's just nothing?
I'm like anxious about next year because I'm like, is it also going to be standalone, or is it going to be like another? Are they going to go back to like a tribute thing? I don't know. I mean, makes a difference to me, but it does make a difference for this podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that like Blazar is successful enough that they'll probably just like keep staying the course of like this new direction kind of thing. But we'll see. It's too early to tell.
What if this becomes like the Seed universe equivalent for Ultraman? Where it's like, if you don't want to go back to the old thing, we have this other kind of larger interconnected universe full of a bajillion things.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Oh no.
I cannot speak. I'm poisoned by future knowledge.
Oh no, okay. You know, I should have predicted something like this would probably exist already, considering the length of this franchise.
I will say, I don't think I don't think Ultraman has a seed equivalent in terms of quality.
Okay,
to my
that's
knowledge.
good. That's good.
I don't want us to find like 100 episodes that are just like, oh, these are the bad ones. But,
you know, sometimes it happens. I am sure when this podcast is all said and done, with how long and how many of these series we have, we could make a list of 100 bad episodes across all of the different series.
I mean, I think, technically speaking, we made like a list of like 13 bad episodes for Ultraman. So.
Yeah. We're 1/10 of the way there. 13% of the way there.
Get that fucking Moon episode of Ultra 7 on that list. Jesus Christ.
The Moon episode sucks.
Alien Zampa, fucking hell.
It's okay, they all got wiped out, lol.
Just casual genocide. As like a footnote.
Captain Karada's there for some reason. I still don't know what that guy's plan was. They just grabbed his gun and shot him.
So it's so funny. He like suffers the same fate as Chaplay, just like, hello, I'm here, dies immediately.
Yeah. Well, I think we have Gava-donned all of our Gava-done.
That's not a sentence.
I don't know. I'm always Gava-donning. Gava-don is a state of mind, though. You have to agree with me on this.
Fine.
Don't you just want to lay around and cause problems for people?
Yeah.
I do all the time. I'm not big enough to, like, you know, cause a national issue, but...
Guy who's into kaiju, but only 2D ones.
There are many such cases.
Tune into the podcast 5 years from now when we cover Kaiju Girls or whatever.
Oh no! Oh god! I already forgot that existed.
It was so funny. I had friends like who listened to the podcast, who like listened to the episode where you guys discovered that in real time, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so happy I got to hear them discover this exists."
Oh, that's funny. Hi, Mel's friends. Yeah. That was episode 15, Betwixt Morn and Dusk.
Yeah,
which honestly, good name for a Jisoji throwback episode.
Cedric started the Discord DM to me earlier. That was like maybe he hasn't been able to double check, but he says that maybe according to the quote unquote Jisoji memorial site, that was like they're going to be the original name for the Gava-done episode.
Oh.
Also, the fact that there is a Jisoji memorial site.
Yo, yeah, honestly, thinking about that rules.
Trying to look up Alien Spell, catch 404.
Not that one. Some things aren't worth remembering.
Even Jisoji didn't like that episode. It's really funny. It's really funny.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would have liked the cake, though.
There's no way of knowing.
We got another Jisoji episode this week.
Yeah, we do. Oh, I'm so excited to talk about the Ultra 7 stuff.
Yeah. It's a shame Red isn't here, but we got their notes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Their voice will carry on through the summaries.
Yeah, I was like, because you're not here, you're allowed to be even more editorializing in your summaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we should go record that.
Yeah. Well, let's. Do you have a color time?
Oh yeah, I didn't rewatch the episode, so I should like check that. You know what? Let's do it in real time because I got.
Oh my god.
I have the episode open. Let's see. Where's Blazar transform? Gento.
You've seen how the sausage is made, folks. Look at this exclusive behind. This is what happens when one of us is missing. We get behind the scenes, and by behind the scenes, I mean we did not accurately prepare for the episode.
Yeah, I was just like I had stuff going on, and like we were recording a day early, so I didn't like do my usual.
This was a weird week for. This was a weird week for me too. That's why I'm now behind 2 movies on our fucking Toho Kaiju movie watch.
Okay, so, where's the ad break? Does the ad break happen? Okay, no, there isn't an ad break before Blazar transforms. So that makes sense.
Oh, I never even thought about the fact that you need to.
Yeah, I need to calculate subtract from the ad breaks too, which is annoying. But
damn,
if there's no ad
this
breaks,
is the hard work that we do to give you accurate times.
Yeah,
for
my stupid bits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
you do have a capsule kaiju this week too.
I do. Actually,
not to spoil for Ultra stuff.
The timing for that one was also weird, just because like, well, I'll talk about it in the episode. No need to just now. Okay, yeah. So 24. It goes from 20 minutes, 21 seconds to 24 minutes, 10 seconds. Opening up my favorite time calculator site.
Oh, you can't calculate time by mind?
No, dipshit. 3 minutes 49 seconds.
You see, I knew that. I was just waiting for the calculator to spit it out.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a color timer this week.
All right.
I did my job.
Yeah. Plugs. If you want to follow the show, that's we're on Twitter at Ultra_Q. That's QUEUE. I exist on YouTube as Rasen. Still got some Halloween stuff that hopefully should be up by the time that you actually are hearing this. And you can find me at Twitter less and less these days at Rasenbrand. I'm starting to post on Blue Sky more because more and more people are getting on that website, and I'm like, okay, when I post things, people can actually see them now with greater, visibility.
Yeah.
So I'm Rasenbrand there as well. That's RASENBRAN. And Mel, where can everyone find you and your shenanigans?
You can find me at Dear Crowns on the sites. Twitter's down for the moment. I'll probably be back at some point. I'm usually on Blue Sky. I don't actually use co-host much, despite the fact thinking I should, but rip. So one of them's got to go. Also, we got the email, ultraqpod@gmail.com. We got a coffee, ultraqfund coffee. Yeah, this can be another Ultra 7 this week. Another Blazar next week, and the final Ultra 7 next week. Whoa, crazy. Fucked up.
It is.
In the good way, but fucked up.
Yeah.
Somehow we finished 3. Well, it's because of our pacing, and 2 of the shows are shorter, but we did finish 3 shows in 1 year, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's a good, healthy start. We are at a third of the way through the Showa era in terms of TV series.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of we got the original 3. Then they've got a block of 4,
and then it's an animated series, and then some other thing after.
Yeah, there's
right?
there's 2 other 50-episode series, and then it's the weird blank gap where there's just random shit. That's some of it's untranslated. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
trying to make peace with the fact in advance that some of these things are just not going to have subs, and we'll have to loop back around.
Yeah, that's the nature of the beast, I feel, when you get into something like this. It's a lot of weird niche spin-offs and side things that just do not get the attention that they probably deserve and will be translated by some enthusiast in 5 years' time.
It's funny, I forget if it was this week's GGP during the bracket. But they mentioned oh yeah, we're gonna be done G-Witch in 2027, 2028. I'm okay, we're gonna be in mid-aughts Ultraman by then. It's just funny to think about. It's just comparing the time scale and just also we got more stuff technically, but also because of the pace we're going, we'll probably go through more of it by the time we get to when GGP finishes the Gundam stuff.
The secret to our sauce, and this is why I am a hard believer, as someone now with 2 tokusatsu rewatch podcasts, one of which has been on the shelf for a while. 3 episodes, perfect amount to talk about over podcast.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you'll get at least one in the bunch that there's not actually a lot of meat to, and it's just kind of yeah, we watched this, it was fine or it was bad, and that's all, and you can
last
move
week
on.
with the cow.
Yeah. with 2 outstanding episodes that gave us a lot to talk about, and then also the Kappa episode.
And also the Kappa episode.
Can you imagine talking about Blazar 3 episodes at a time?
No, but we don't have to.
Yeah.
Unless we decide to do like second gig in like 10 years or whatever.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah. But that's I don't know, think about that. That's 10 years from now.
Yeah, I'll probably be dead. I'll be a constellation in the stars. And every time Red and Mel record, they'll look up because for some reason they're recording at night now. I don't know why. We've never had to do this before.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like Red almost exclusively records in the evening, just because of time.
That's true. That's true.
They're the ones getting imposed upon.
Yeah.
Maybe the British shouldn't have made Greenwich Mean Time 0. Have you thought about that? I actually don't think that would have
Much
made
like the children drawing the kaiju too big. Okay, we need to get out of here.
We should probably
have a good one. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye. We're Gava-done.
Or Gava-done.
Gava-done. Gava-dabba-doo.
It's Gava-dover. I'm fucking...